Okay, let's start slowly rolling. It's really just a little bit more. You will see that I will upload every week a 10-pager. And it's kind of reading suggestions and notes and small tasks. It's more self-reflective questions, actually. And it's kind of my lecture notes. Yeah, so it's a little bit what we are covering as well in the lecture. Sometimes it's additional tasks. And to give you an example, the first section is really just what we are doing today, introduction, who I am, how you can reach me, what are the key books that I'm using, what journals I'm referring to, and so forth. Yeah, but then next week, we go a little bit into different headings that try to identify a certain organization, yeah, and organizational cultures probably more than anything else. And we work a little bit through quotes. And this is really a little bit to inspire you and make you think. So then it's, of course, this is kind of setting the scene as well for your journal article. Yeah. So people who needs people, but then the reflection exercise is actually what are the hot topics at the moment for you in your organization or where you actually interact. Yeah. And so I have a lot of that. Yeah, because at that level, at level 7, it's as well a lot about reflecting. Yeah. Going into yourself and looking if the concepts have actually an applicability to your past experience and how you can take this forward proactively. Yeah. So you will see those will be now in packages from week to week. Yeah, I encourage you strongly to work through it. We cover a lot of the aspects in the lectures, and we talk a lot about it in seminars and work around the topics. Yeah. I'm curious about what you're doing actually, or what you have experienced, or what you want to do in the future. You will see a lot of the distance learners will actually share what their thoughts are to this on the discussion board. So if you're curious about some of those topics, you could use that as well for the journal paper. 2 years ago, one student actually kind of did a questionnaire for all the distance learners, and they really liked it. So they gave a lot of insight from practice, and the student then could evaluate the overall experience in that area. Yeah, so there are synergy options. If you are after that. Yeah, but don't worry, it will not be the 100 pages as what it is now. It will be a 10-pager per week, yeah, so it's not too drastic. Okay. And any questions at that point? Okay, then let's set the scene a little bit for the project organization. And this is a critical one. Yeah, this is in a way. It comes probably from one side of construction. Maybe this is not true for you, so think if this resonates with you, yeah, if that makes sense. So project management requires a focus on the end product. That is essential. There has to be something there to see or to use, something made or built on the ground, for example, but also there also, but there also has to be an ongoing focus on the process. Without the process, the product will not happen. So the contradiction continues without a focus on product. The process is meaningless. Some perhaps get a buzz out of the process, teamworking, partnership, empowerment, and so on, but forget what they are in business for, to get that project completed on time, to price and quality. Yeah? Think a little bit about this. Is this what you have come across? Is this what you're going into? What is business about?
Repeat customers.
Yeah? Customers? Money? Okay.
Profits.
Profits, yeah.
Quality.
Quality, yeah. As well quality?
Gain market.
Pardon?
Gain the market.
To gain the market. So you're thinking already grant, yeah? Not just making a profit, take the market over, yeah? I like that. Yeah? Is the process important as long as you deliver? Yeah, you said it's all about the customer?
Yeah.
Yeah?
If you do it right, they'll keep on coming back to you over and over again.
Yeah. So here is you have a long-term business model, yeah? If you do it right, if you get it right. Yeah? And where do you think it has just to do with the product, or is it as well the process?
It's the whole process from start to finish. If you're crap at even one bit, they're going to pick you up on it.
Yeah. So what do you mean by crap? What is the danger?
If you piss them off, or if you just don't do what you say you're gonna do, they're going to hold that against you for the rest of the project.
Okay, so the process matters a lot. Yeah, sometimes it's not even so much the product. This is heartbreaking for an engineer. I studied formerly engineering. I don't like to admit that openly, but having been now long enough in project management, I know this. Yeah, so the process is important. But we had as well money. Yeah, this is one way. It's normally return on investment or revenue that we are looking at. This is the terminology that is probably more fruitful for that. Yeah, so we go in to actually grow your game. Grow maybe in the market, yeah, that was another notion. Yeah, this is very market oriented. We have as well other notions. Yeah? So the process is certainly something that carries us through and that positions us as well for future projects. Yeah? So just getting the output is not always it. Yeah? But quality was another important one. Where we actually look at that in a little bit more detail later. So there is a hypothesis, of course. It's not really my hypothesis. I should have really, this is Rodney Turner's hypothesis from 2005. He has now adjusted it, I think. But yeah, he gave the following away. What is a hypothesis?
Conclusion.
Yeah, goes in the right direction, but what is it?
It's like you suggest something in a sense that it isn't actually going to happen, well, or could.
Yeah.
It's like you're theorizing or not. No, it's not the right.
Yeah, but you go along the right line. Yeah. So a hypothesis can be traditionally be used as a prediction. Yeah. So it's a good guess, hopefully an informed guess, and we say it's a theorem. A theorem or a hypothesis is literally something that is testable, that you try to falsify. So if it's false, you can dismiss it. It was a wrong assumption. We have to actually inform it better. Yeah. So this is in a way our theoretic game that we are playing in academia, where we have a lot of theories and refine them. We figure out what aspects are wrong, and then stick with the part that is right and try to test if this works. If it's wrong, we look why it's wrong. Yeah? So this is a process. Okay, here's a hypothesis from Rodney Turner, which I said is mine, but yeah, okay. Enjoy it with a little bit of care here. Project management success can only be judged by the product. So why is it stupid?
Because the finished product could be the best thing in the world, but to get to there, it's like the journey there and how you got there. Like, it could have been managed terribly, could have cost them like over and above. Do you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you how you got to that or what the end product does. Like.
Okay. So you have already dealt with it, and you have made already case for it, a plea, which is interesting. We have now though to shoot the hypothesis, yeah, with a concrete fact. So let's think first about it. How do we pick our products as customers or clients? Are you interested in how products come to you?
Some people are.
Okay. So yeah, you are, I am. Yeah, this is good. We have two. How do we buy products? Very general, maybe not so construction focused, yeah. But in general, how do you buy products?
Depends how you value it, how much value you put on that is how you buy it. Because you might buy something for different, you buy different things for different reasons. For your personal to yourself, you'll buy different to me, and vice versa.
Have you seen what I'm buying? Yeah, no, okay. Let's not refine on that account. So yeah, so there's a different emphasis. Yeah, in some products it matters more to us, and you have pointed quite rightly out. It depends a little bit how we are valuing these things. Yeah, how do you value a building or construction piece? Yeah,
if it suits our needs.
Yeah, suits our needs. Did you how did you pick, for example, the house that you are living in now?
It literally met all our requirements, and obviously cost.
Okay, so it was kind of requirements and then cost emphasized.
Less so area, it was just right house, right cost.
Okay. Yeah, is one way of doing it? Were you interested in the process, how it was built?
No.
Okay, this is a problem. So here Rodney Turner tells us he's actually right. He has a point, yeah? So what about other projects? Your house, maybe. Your house is actually quite a British notion. I should add there again. In Germany, we rent mostly. Yeah, there are a few people that own the house, but normally we rent. I don't know why. It's a German thing. Yeah, yeah. Location. Yeah. So what is essential with a location?
Well, for me, it was to be next to good schools in the area.
Okay. Yeah. I actually have a colleague. She is just doing that. She's moving next to a good school, and I was like, what? Okay. Yeah. So there are other hidden criteria potentially. Yeah, but it's as well a requirement for you. Yeah, or it seems to be. Well, what is it? Is it the requirement need or
Well, yeah,
is
if
it
you're
something?
out of the catchment area, then you don't get to go in that school.
Okay.
So you have to look at the catchment area for the school that you want to be in.
Unless you want to pay.
Yeah, okay. That is the alternative. Yeah? So in your case, but were you interested in the process of the building?
About the construction, yeah. Because of my background, my husband's also a building surveyor, so between us it was a nightmare to find a house.
Okay, so you were interested in how it was built, what was in it.
The
Yeah.
defects, the cost to repair it and things like that. So
Okay,
and
so
the features of it as well.
the features. But again, the final product. Yeah. So in a way, it's still that you didn't ask how it was built, who was involved.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
So this is kind of like a bad realization, isn't it? It's quite tough to test this
That's
actually
more
wrong.
secondary units, isn't it? That's a secondary, not the primary user. The primary user is more interested in how it got there.
Yeah.
If you're buying it second, third, fourth, fifth, you couldn't care less how it was there. It's there now, it's doing its job, and it's right. So for the, I would say for the primary user, that would be correct.
So who do we do the project management then for?
The client.
Okay. So why does the client matter if the user
Because
doesn't
he's
really
going to come
mind?
back and hopefully give you something else.
So you think already about business, yeah?
Yeah.
Building a relationship of building many houses together, yeah? So this shows you already that there's a certain game involved, yeah? And the interesting thing is the client is here not the user, yeah?
In some cases, but not in all cases.
Yeah. Okay, let's think about other maybe construction products. Where is the client the user as well?
Their own small house.
Yeah. If you're building your own house, yeah. Often you have that. If you're building office blocks, yeah. Sometimes you have actually companies that build their own headquarters or something like that. Yeah. Then you have that often that the client is actually the one that wants to use it. Yeah. This is often quite interesting. We had that case study as an option last semester. The headquarters of Siemens. They have a lot of detail requirements. They are very interested in the process, how it gets combined. They want to have a sustainable footprint, so they're looking even at the ways the construction is actually assembled, their techniques, how people are actually employed and so forth. So this is then a very different game. Yeah? But again, this is a tricky one. Yeah? So it is suggested that improved performance in industry requires more than better processes, new technologies, or contractual relations. Yeah, so that is of course something that underlines this, and as you said, like it kind of stops at that client notion. Yeah, when he sells it to the user, yeah, there seems to be that content of the people that live in it that are not too much interested in the process, yeah, which is quite fascinating actually if you think about it. Yeah. Of course, there's another hidden notion to this, and it's improved performance is of course as well dependent on the motivated and valued people working in a culture of cooperation, teamwork, and continuous improvement. Again, this is one of my rhetorics that comes from a paper. It's not really what sprung to me naturally. Is this always true? How do you feel about the culture maybe in the industry where you are from? Is this true, for example, for the Northeast in England? Are we working on the construction site in good teamwork? Do we cooperate well? Oh, we have the continuous improve. Oh, okay, I've already the first waving. You smile already. Yeah.
Sometimes it's
Some,
short.
sometimes it can work, and sometimes it's just people lock heads and they're shouting and roaring. Fuck you. See you later.
Yeah, but sometimes you have as well characters that really bring it together on the side.
Aye, that's
Yeah, and that is then normally a really good day as well. Yeah, that doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. Yeah. So okay, in some countries it is very difficult. Yeah, in Germany, from my experience, very difficult. Yeah, it's as well all professionalized. You have your time slot when you go on construction site. Then are you doing actually what you came for doing? Yeah, and you're being as well checked, and it's all. Have you got the right paperwork? Yeah, and then you're signing against it, and then you have to report back. And yeah, if you're in somebody's way, you're being shouted at rather than having the collaborative experience of working nicely together.
It seems to be these days, and the bigger organisations, like so you probably work like people have a specific job role and they go on and they don't like to do it and they'll say, oh, if somebody asks them something, they probably know the answer or could do something the opposite. That's nothing to do with me. They just want to just shift it, pass it on. It's got nothing to do with me. That's not within my job description. But sometimes when you do get like say on site, a dynamic kind of people who they'll help you out, or say I needed something done there later on, like if I'd do something for him later on, I'd swing around roundabouts without just saying, oh well, that's a variation, that's this. You know, there's give and take times, and it helps speed things along, and it just depends on the people.
It's a tricky game, I have to admit, and certainly from my experience, I have seen both. How is it in your experience? Is it like what we just described? Yeah, that there is this element, and this complacency comes, of course, is probably to attend a few more construction sites. Yeah, this is not his main construction site. He has to push on, otherwise he doesn't make his schedule for the day. Now, this is often the hidden background to this. How was it done in the construction sites that you have been to, or what have you heard? Is it always nice, collaborative?
Well, I did find out like when you were sharing resources, especially human resources, it's a lot better than if you cooperate. Because in the beginning when I started working, basically all the different managers, like on the same part, they all said like, I want to get my work finished. So sometimes I saw one of the guys walking around, which I needed at the time. I said like, come to my room now, finish it first. And then someone else came to me again, like I didn't finish my work because of that. So later on when we like said, okay, we just share the people every single day. So like, the one day you got the painters team and the other day you got them. And we found out it was like so much faster and we got like a lot more work done than before.
So you structured it properly.
Exactly.
Yeah? Okay, and that can enhance, of course. Then you don't have this bouncing around in a way and looking for it. How was the atmosphere? Did it improve the atmosphere as well?
The atmosphere was always good, but it was like in the beginning it was more competitive than it was later on.
Okay.
So it was more as a team effort than like individual effort. Because everyone said like I want to get like the most rooms finished.
Yeah.
And later on like it was pretty much the same, but then like more people got more rooms finished though.
Very good. Did you have a similar experience or examples? Maybe a good example as well. We had as well a local hospital that was built recently. It's still not fully finished. It's still in the construction process. They went for a partnership agreement, and agreement is always nice, but they did it as well spatially. They had a basically the office that they had on site was open plant, and whilst they thought first this would be a complete nightmare, it turned actually out to work very well. I mean, the guys, if you speak to them, they all have their roles, and they are of course there with their company, but some of them have even become kind of friends. They even socialize after the site, and it has a very nice atmosphere. We went there a few times for interviews and following up and seeing how it actually went. And it turned out to work really well. And the company really tried to establish this knowledge sharing ethos, because a lot of their project managers basically went with whoever paid best. Yeah? So in a way, after a big hospital project, next hospital, they would look around, okay, who has project managed a hospital before? Yeah, and to avoid this, they literally went for this open plant strategy, because then you could of course recruit as well the other guys. if they are leaving. So this shows you already that there's something else going on too. But the feedback was that they really enjoyed working on that site because it was just a more pleasant environment, if you want. They were motivated to come actually. So small things can work. Open plant with academics didn't work that well, quite frankly, but that's a different topic. Maybe some other examples. No? Okay, let's have a look. Continuous improvement, are we always interested in this? Quick question. How are we in construction with bringing in new technologies?
Slow.
Very slow.
This is very polite. You put already the right additives to it. Slow, very slow. This goes in the right direction. We are not the most proactive in bringing new technology in. Why is that?
Cost training.
Cost training? But you would assume new technologies would make things more efficient, so we could cut costs afterwards.
So everything's always improving. You're going to always be training your staff. There's major ongoing costs to take every improvement.
You have a lead there. I give you that. So this is the general feeling that I get from a lot of employers. Then the irony is, some companies do actually incredibly go at the moment and improve, and they tell me the opposite. It's so much cheaper. So there's a perception that is actually not fully grounded in what we find actually on construction sites. We have some companies that have modernized. I mean, the most crazy example was Strabag from Austria. They have completely technology-wise enhanced their road building facilities. So their road layer machines and I don't know the proper English terms. This is slightly embarrassing, but literally the machinery that they're using is a geotagged computer, quite frankly, that does the leveling for them, and it calculates as well very accurately the bitumen temperature and the asphalt temperature when it actually gets poured and layered. And this meant that they could undercut the Danish bidding of a motorway of like something like 350 kilometers, which is a big project, was written out for 5 years. They could go for a bid starting 1.5 years later, doing it in 2 years, and undercutting the price to 60%. There was no competition anymore. And if you do things like that, then it's kind of crazy, that we still have those arguments. It doesn't work everywhere though.
Yeah, but I was about to say, they bought that equipment that's going to be there for the next few years. They're not going to buy the brand new equipment the next year, the next year, the next year. There has to be a level of speed that you can update, otherwise you will be just buying the latest thing and zero profit margin. So this was
limitation. You're spot on, and at the same, I was really interested as well with my PhD on this, and we have the same here with the local contractor O&P. Some of you may know it. They do plant operations, and they have done the same. They have now infrared leveling and geotagging, and so that they don't have the old issues that they used to have. You needed always a surveyor on site. They say a surveyor that does actually the reference points. You still need that. But it has just increased the speed that they can perform. And you're spot on. Large technology changes are very expensive. It has taken Strabag as well, I think, 10 projects before they had it actually refined for such a big project to get it right. This is very important to recognize. So there's a learning curve. And now they have incremental learning. So they do small changes, they try to optimize their modeling and things like that. But this is kind of the big shift. But what I try to point out here is that we are very averse to new technologies. There is a potential for you to look critical at solutions and options and see if they have been tried. So there's a huge area in construction where we can do something like this. Shall we cover that as well? We actually build on that next session. Let's do that. And then we conclude on that. So there is this technology shift, of course, that I emphasize, but it's as well about people. And when you can combine this, of course, then you're playing at the maximum capacity of your project organization. That is what I would be passionate about. Yeah, I hope that you will arrive there and have wonderful projects. But it's of course getting from the most that they can give to sustain and develop your business. Yeah? So we are here to, as a project manager, to let your people perform at the best that they can. Not at the highest production level. Yeah, this I had an Indian student that did a. I mean, I just thought it was unethical, but he got ethical clearance from us. We looked in his master dissertation at productivity levels from laborers working heavy machinery. That was physical. And he showed me actually in his Empiria, and that was just shocking, that you can actually work 12 hours in a week, 5 days a week, no, 6 days a week, with very big machinery that has physical impact on you, but the next week you don't walk normal. So this was kind of the conclusions. We looked at the health implications. So you want to find the balance, yeah, quite frankly. This is what I try to say here. Yeah? So don't push your team to the maximum because you run them down. If something small happens, maybe in the personal environment, then slips happen and they have a real impact on your project. Yeah? And that's as well not nice. You know, you want to have a happy project, as we established earlier. Yeah? So there is this element, of course, to facilitate that they can perform best. Yeah? And this is being sensitive as well to the individuals, of course. Yeah? This includes enabling the people to find the job sufficiently interesting and satisfying to encourage them to perform well. And then, of course, motivating people to work effectively and efficiently and effectively, other way around, yeah? Which requires the manager to understand the relationship between motivation and productivity. And this is something I think that I want to look with you at next week. Any thoughts to this?
You see, like in some countries, like motivating your staff and people here, but you see some countries, you'll get like, you know, the labourers just treated like they're just a number, and their health and safety and stuff, they'll have them up doing stuff, and if they die, it doesn't really matter. There's a real swinging like the way, how would you say, like, so, I don't want to say countries, like, because there's probably people here from different countries, but
this is a
like,
question.
They'll just throw people at it, and it's people with the money and the poor people. They just get on it because if they want a job, and it's nearly like slave labour.
Okay, so that is probably quite controversial. Yeah, but this is important to recognize. Yeah, so the people that work potentially with us have very different settings. Yeah? If you work internationally, and I certainly have done so. Yeah, in Namibia or Mozambique, there were no regulations, and when you said like build this trench, then people would go there with a spade. Yeah, they wouldn't wait for the plant to arrive. Yeah, quite frankly. So they are just different settings, and you have to understand that. And if you know that there are certain implications, then you have to communicate that. I didn't actually see that sufficient communication. I don't think it's intent to incur anybody. It's often not structured, and under the time pressure, they try to do crazy things and maybe don't think about the implications. And as a manager, depending on how it's subcontracted, there's as well a business implication. Yeah, you have of course to request that there is a consideration that practice is considerable healthy. Yeah, the health and safety, what we have here in the UK, is probably considered in some countries crazy or over the top. They cannot imagine how you would implement this. Yeah? I myself have worked in countries like that that would say, oh my gosh, you have to do all this paperwork. We don't get anybody employed for that. Yeah, so there's a little bit of both. Yeah. Any other thoughts to this in general, managing people? We pick up next week on that and unfold this a little bit and look into the context. Yeah.
I'll say understanding the people who you work with, their individual motivations, and focusing on that to help motivate them.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're working internationally, that person's motivation would be completely different to the other guys working in your office. So trying to focus on that.
Key element, yeah. So figuring out why everybody is actually in this project. Yeah. So sometimes surprising insights as well if you try to figure that out. Not everybody is there for the same reason. Yeah. Yeah, very good. Any other thoughts?
Everybody's got an agenda, so if you know what their agendas are and you can get them in line with yours, you can work together with people better. If you both kind of say, right, well, I know you need to do this and I need this, well, can we make, you know, if we kind of help each other and meet halfway, or if you can form them kind of things straight away and then you have common ground,
Yeah.
which means that you're not going to come out ahead at some point.
Yeah, so again, understanding each other's motives or agendas, yeah, it can be very powerful. And some of you had already interesting games with me, yeah, where you figured out that not everybody is happy to share that openly. It's a question of giving the space to figure out as well what the agendas are and what the motives are. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much. I see some of you in the seminars later on. The others I see next week. Yeah, have a wonderful day. And I will upload everything on the ELP. So have a look at all the different documents, the assessment, timetable, that you are that you can ask questions next week about it if you have any. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.